Hello, everybody. Welcome back to part two of sharing your journeys, hitting my mic as I always do, with Soska. So Soska is back. Oh my God, I had to get them back on because the last time Soska came on, it was amazing. There was so much interest. It was brilliant. So obviously, literally me and Soska were like, we have to do this once more. We have to do this again, and literally just have a continuation of the first part. So I'm gonna stop talking now. And literally, I'm gonna pass it straight over to Soska. Where honestly, Soska, like, enlighten me, please, please teach me today.
All right. So, welcome guys. Part two. Uh I think from continuation from last time, I think the first thing we gotta start talking about is brands. Just there's
Mm,
just so much you can use for encasement, but obviously you gotta be specific. And I think that's a good intro to today's video, which is what panels should I use to do all this, to be encased,
yeah.
enjoy it and everything. And brand wise, we can start. There's a good list of everything. Obviously there are many qualities you want. First thing
Mm,
is the pen be very stretchy. Like
yeah.
if it's enough, it's just not gonna work. And secondly, it all comes down to as well now is deniers, how thin you want your encasement, how thick you
Yeah.
want it. Obviously, the thinner you are, the more sort of I would say natural it looks on you.
Mm-hmm.
The thicker you are, the more I guess I would say you would ambiguously hide yourself because being sort of into encasement is also the sort of the interest of gender roles where it's not about genders at this because once we're all encased, if we're encased well enough, we all just become sort of dolls. It's
Yeah.
just we're just little little playthings that we just have fun with.
Yeah.
So brand wise, we can talk would be like obviously the more expensive the brand, the better it feels.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Yeah. So right now I'm in probably the most expensive encasement you can think of. I'm in neon 40s under
Oh.
some CR super Cedar 20s, which are just obviously very shiny.
Yeah.
So right now, if you look at me, I'm just glossed up, just completely
Yeah,
glossed up.
legit, it's just a shiny doll. That's all I can see, and it's incredible. It's so incredible.
Uh, And obviously, because it's a more expensive brand, I just feel amazing all the way.
Mm,
There's no part of me that does not feel, bad or rough, and I'm not even exposed. There's no seams or anything. So
yeah,
as a clean, polished, shiny nylon doll, which is what I always love to be. And
yeah,
then
I
obviously,
hear that.
and most people, when you do your first encasements, obviously you don't know yet, so you choose like a slightly cheaper brand. I actually would
Mm,
agree with, especially your first encasements. Your first encasements you ever do when you cut the right sort of areas to create the encasement,
yeah,
it's never gonna succeed the first time. So you gotta always sort of experiment with cheaper brands to find the right sort of
yeah,
places where you create it. And yeah, I would say use cheaper brands when you start. But if you're daring enough and you know where you have to cut to create the perfect seamless look, I would start elevating into more expensive brands like CDRs,
yeah,
Wolfords. The Wolfords are probably the riskiest ones, obviously,
yeah. I
just
can
because of how.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. But once you get it right, it's just perfect every time. Like Nylon Cherry, she does Wolfords now.
Mm,
I have to. I'll take the blame on that one. I told her you really should get Wolfords, and I sort of pushed her into that. And once she got into it, I think she became a little too addicted to it. It's a great feeling. It
yeah,
became
I hear
it
that.
literally her second skin, and she's been using it. We're wearing it all the time ever since for most of her shoots.
Amazing. Oh my God. Okay, right. So note, it's
Yeah,
start off with cheaper brands, but
yeah,
work your way up to like the more like
yeah,
luxe expensive ones. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, the only reason is you just want to
Yeah.
find the right places to cut for your the encasement,
Yeah.
where you cut for trends and everything. It takes time. It takes time. That's trial and error, and obviously, and like I said, just not worth it on expensive brands if it's your first time. You might cut it in the wrong space, then you realize you can't. Well, obviously, once you cut it, you can't fix it, right? So
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Okay, okay. And then what about like in terms of sizes? So for instance, if I was to do it, normally I would wear like a small or a small to medium. Would I need to go, for instance, to a large to get extra room in
Uh,
it, or can I just use the sizes that I would normally wear?
Normally, I think for your upper body, you got to go a little bigger.
Okay.
Generally, so say for example, your legs are small or medium. Upper body, you
Hmm.
go for large or sometimes even extra large. But it also comes down to your
Okay.
build as well. So slightly thicker build like mine, you'll go. I'm using extra large Wolfords right now.
Mm,
Extra large, like extra large CDRs,
yeah.
and then for the legs, you would go for just your usual size. But obviously, with the encasement, you want to be fully covered. I would even say going
Yeah.
size. You can get the high waistband effect. That way, when you layer them on top of each other, it forms a perfect
Yeah.
seam,
Yeah.
so it covers you completely. Because
Okay.
I want to be when doing encasement, just complete coverage, no exposed skin, and it
Yeah.
becomes skin. Just becomes a part of who you are.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Noted. Okay. Noted.
So, anything else from as we move forward from branding and sizing?
I mean, to be fair, they were like kind of like my main two in terms of like if I
Yeah,
was to ever do it, or anybody who is starting
yeah.
out, it's where do you kind of what's your starting point in a
Oh,
sense. But
now in I think for encasement, once you start playing around, this is when you start, I guess, enjoying it. First, obviously, you enjoy it solo because it's really hard to find somebody to play with
mm,
in encasement. But then once you get into finding somebody, that's when the real fun, I think, really, really begins. And
yeah.
the search is worth it. The juice is worth the squeeze, I would say. Because finding
Yeah.
someone
Yeah. Yeah.
that loves to play it is amazing. And that's when, and I think we were going to continue this from last video. I think that's when we get into mummification and
Yeah.
just sort of encasement games, playing with someone else.
Yeah.
So at that point, that's when it becomes really, really fun, I believe. So starting with the basis, obviously, when you're encased and the other person's encased, you're going to start with rubbing the sensation of pantyhose on each other because we all love
Okay.
that weak feel on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously you normally can't do that alone. And if you do layering, I think that's a good way to sort of describe that feeling. The closest you can get to
Yeah.
casement play would be layering pantyhose, where just the nylon rubs on each other, and it obviously
Yeah.
feels amazing. And then with encasement play, as we go into sort of the more kinky side of encasement, we're going into mummification, I think. Pantyhose mummification, bondage, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that's when you get sort of that's when we sort of give in to the feeling more so than just playing with it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I sent you a video a while ago, an example of mummification, as you saw.
Oh my God. Soska, it was crazy. It was like, oh my God. Like it was actually kind of exciting to see it, obviously because it's new. So I always get excited about anything new. But
Yeah.
it was really enlightening actually, in the sense of like, wow, this is what it's like. This is what it kind of is. And seeing it, I think it's you to me, it's like kind of you got to see it to believe it. And it's like now that I've
Oh,
seen it, I'm like, wow, okay.
oh yeah. This is yeah. There's people. There's a few of us out there that just love the feeling to be completely trapped in nylon.
Mm,
Yeah, and that one I did by myself, obviously. But once you get into someone else doing it for you, it becomes a real sense of like a real like you're trapped. There's no way getting out.
yeah.
There's no way
Yeah, yeah,
getting out.
yeah.
And when you get obviously your mummification, the classic one would be you get a really, really big size pantyhose. And
Yeah.
those ones really do your research, I think, because obviously you get like an extra large Wolford, it won't work. You know,
Mm,
you need something that's super stretchy, something that can be
yeah.
full, full on sort of just takes the brunt of what you're doing because you are stretching your pretty much nylons all the way to the max to get that sort of mummification going. And I would use snack tights. I use snack tights. I think that's a British brand, if anything. I'm not sure.
I think it is, yeah. I'm sure it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. They're perfect. They make really, really really stretchy pantyhose, and some of it is opaque, some of it is even shiny. I use some of their more shinier ones,
Mm.
and yeah, they're just perfect. Like you stretch them, obviously put both your legs in one leg, your upper body in the other leg, and because of how stretchy they are, they you can literally, if you're playing with somebody especially, you can literally have someone pull the leg all the way up and pull the upper body all the way down. So you sort of get that sort of hug, I would call it, you know?
Wow.
And then the waistbands, because they are very stretchy, if you because
Yeah.
of how stretchy they are, you can actually knot the waistbands. And then at that point, because you knot the waistband and the knots on the outside, you can't escape, obviously. So,
Yep. Yep.
and this is like true mummification, I would call it, because if you do it by yourself, obviously you can get out after a while, and you need to get out.
Yeah.
Uh, it's going to be really funny if you get trapped. Obviously, at that point, if you get trapped, you gotta rip those nylons somehow and get out.
Wow. Oh my.
Yeah,
So it's because okay, so the way I kind of hear it
yeah.
is mummification pretty much it's like I think like how you kind of said before, it's very similar to kind of bondage in a sense, isn't it? The whole it's
Oh
a
yeah,
similar kind of sensation. It
oh yeah,
yeah. Probably
yeah.
sensation is probably the wrong word, but that kind of along those lines in a sense.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just complete.
Wow.
It's bondage, but with just pantyhose and full. It's a full. It's even more fulfilling than encasement, and it's even better, I think, with encasement, because when
Yeah.
you sort of into that zone where I'm already in nylon, it's part of me,
Mm.
more nylon trapping me, and then you get obviously the sensation of the mummification, the encasement,
Yeah.
each other. It's all sensations. And with the I think anybody who loves pantyhose or nylons or whatever, it's all sensations. It's all about feeling good, enjoying that feeling, and yeah, just it's I would say just nylon heaven. You just feel it every time you touch yourself.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. So obviously, so when I remember watching your video, and I remember it's only come to me, but like back to me now because I've just still been thinking about it the whole time.
Yep,
You know, when you're, for instance, you're lying there and
yep,
you're fully in mummification mode, but
yeah.
obviously, like by yourself, it's not being done by somebody else. What's kind of like, obviously, you mentioned obviously it's a whole sensation thing, but what's
Yeah.
kind of like the thoughts and feelings that goes through you in that time? Like, is it quite serene? Is it quite like that whole asphyxiation kind of like I'm just
Oh
trying
no,
to
no,
think like if I was there, I'd be dead anxiety, like, oh my God, I need to get out. But
oh no, yeah. So if you're claustrophobic, obviously it isn't the best thing to do.
yeah,
Uh, thought wise, I don't know. I just sort of like I give in to pantyhose, give into the
yeah,
to the to the fetish itself. It's just like I said, I'm just happy. I'm feeling all these feelings all around me, and
yeah.
you can. I mean, I wouldn't do like asphyxiation or anything. I think that's a bit too extreme, even with pantyhose.
Okay.
I would
Mm,
I would say, like I said, it's all sensations. Thought wise, you don't really think much. Feeling, you just give into it. You can't see. That's actually I think that's one of the cool aspects because
mm,
vision is one of our most important senses, and just
yeah.
think with any bondage, just closing your eyes and just having only the sensations around is quite, we'll say, therapeutic to some extent.
Okay. Yeah,
Ther-
yeah, I hear that.
Therapeutic, and then obviously breathing wise, you'd be fine. I mean, I could breathe right now. I've got 4 layers on my face.
Mm,
I can breathe pretty fine. But yeah, no, it just feels good. If anything, it's not anything on like, oh, I need to choke myself or go beyond that.
yeah.
It's all about just feeling good and enjoying the moment as it is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I hear that.
yeah. And then obviously with that, I think we can even go further into that in terms of sort of encasement we see now in a lot of professional shoots.
Mm,
There's a lot of encasement you see now with a lot of sort of nylon content creators and everything, where they're not just wearing pantyhose on their legs now; they're even doing encasement all over their bodies. If you notice, a lot of new sort of people who just love pantyhose, they've been sort of diving into encasement in any way, shape, or form, whether it be just the upper body covered.
mm,
I've seen a few full coverage from head to toe kind of thing,
Yeah.
And I think just a lot of people have been enjoying it. I think let's see. We go on that professional level or just people diving into encasement slowly. The first one I can think of where it's more professional would be like fiber punks.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I've come across them.
they're just growing right now. They're just
Right.
growing right
Okay.
now. Currently they're trying to grow their brand even further. One of their unfortunately their founder, he passed away recently.
Oh God.
So yeah, their sort of main photographer guy, he passed away recently. So rest in peace to him. And
Mm.
he shot some very sort of very professional level, almost artistic encasement
Yeah.
photos. So and he's done it with like some great models I only know their Instagram names unfortunately, but like Hippie Mama, she's one of the models there.
Hmm.
And then have and then so that's one of the models there. He's also shot some really notable pantyhose fetish models, like Little Miss Unique.
Yeah.
Little Miss Unique, she's a big one in the I think in the pantyhose community. She does a lot of pantyhose shoots for like big photographers like Cecil Pantyhose, Fiber
Okay.
Pop, and I think a few other brands as well, a few other kind of people as well. And I think she's one of the most notable pantyhose fetishes that is really out there that many people know. Because she herself, I believe she herself loves wearing them because it just adds a nice look to your
Okay.
life.
Yeah.
But then she's also one of the few that's also taken into sort of into encasement, the knowledge of it, and then the
Get
art form,
you.
photography and everything. It's really, really beautiful as an encasement guy to see more encasement on a more I'd say in a more non-sexual way because it's great to see it.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
love the
I hear that.
and even so more recently, and this might be get a little controversial. We see it with Kanye West and his girl and the outfit she's been wearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I actually think I saw that picture the other day randomly because I think they're clearly popping up for like other reasons.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think I actually did see it and I was like, oh wow. But
yeah, I think
here's a question for you though.
yeah,
Um, you know, okay, because obviously I tend to have these type of talks with like so many different people in the nylon community anyway. But there's
yeah,
a thing about people who truly do it for a passion, whether it's, they absolutely love doing it, it's a fetish of theirs.
yeah.
And basically there's a passion aspect versus people who do it because they know they're gonna get the likes, the follows,
Oh
all
yeah,
the attraction and stuff and everything. And I'm just thinking, does that pop up in the encasement community as well? Because I can imagine the encasement community to be quite small because it's something that is very unique and I think
yeah.
loved by a lot of people. But then I'm also thinking the flip side is, are there people wanting to come into it because they see, like, oh well, if it's a fetish thing and people love it, look at all the likes and comments that they get, I want that, so let me try that and I'll
Yeah,
be new, so people are thinking, oh, like, who's this and everything. Does
yeah.
that happen in your guys community as well?
Oh, it does. Quite. We do always discuss it because we always say, "Oh wow, there's this new person posting,"
Yeah.
and we'll always ask that. Like you said, that one main question: Do they actually like it, or do they actually just do it for the likes, subscriptions, etc.?
Yeah.
And uh, I think when you get into it, I'm gonna say, from my experience, I'm gonna say like 90% of it, you do like it.
Mm,
90% people they do like it, and then the 10% that don't like it, we say it's a shame, you know? Like we would love to
yeah.
have had another member in that community. But then we also break it down,
Mm.
I think somehow to the way you also encase yourself, oddly enough. You know? That's
Okay.
what like
Okay.
a true encasement person will do it and you'll see no exposed skin, no seams, sort of no way like no seams where you can see parts of the skin kind of thing. Sort of the full coverage of it is a very
Mm,
helpful. So we sort of I mean I use that as my way of saying, oh, do they like encasement or not? You know?
mm. Okay.
Because I'll be like, oh, okay, they like it. It looks like they like encasement, but they haven't fully covered themselves. Or it looks really rough for what it is when you want because
Get
encasement
you.
full coverage. So I would sort of use the level of professionalism of how they prepared themselves for the encasement as a way of judging it. And almost 9 times out of 10, it's done very well for
Okay.
my,
All right. I hear
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, sort of that. But yeah, it's really fun though. I think, but like I said, I think you should try it once.
No, honestly, I am I am thinking, no one hold me to this, but I
Yeah,
am thinking about it though, in terms of just it's like how I kind of said before, it'll be very interesting to
yeah,
see how I feel in it, whether it's something that I like, something that I
yeah,
don't know, kind of sparks a little something, or if it is
yeah,
just, you know what, I've tried it, it's not really up my street, but I'm glad I
yeah,
kind of did it, kind of thing.
yeah,
But
exactly. I would say for you, because it's your if it's your first time, uh, I mean, I said like I said before, it would be risky to try more expensive brands, but I think for you,
mm,
just get a couple CDRs and just jump in, you know?
yeah, well, this is what I mean. I'm probably gonna literally have to ask your advice for it to be like, right, so where am I cutting? How am I
Oh yeah,
doing this?
yeah. There's a few videos actually online too from encasement enthusiasts where we do show you how to cut it.
Ah,
I believe
amazing. Okay.
Nylon Cherry, I believe, has a video that shows you how she cuts it,
Okay.
and that's a good way to look at it because her transition from where she started to where she is now has
Mm,
been sort of that sort of it didn't look great at first, but you can tell she was trying. And I think like with anybody, just ask questions, you know, like, do you like it?
yeah.
What would you like to try and everything? And I'm not gonna say I guided her, but I sort of try to push her towards the more expensive brands, like I said before, and trying these layerings and everything. And she's just
Mm,
taking concepts and taking it to the most artistic
yeah.
level basement. Like I said, she doesn't do any nudity. She's always covered up.
Mm,
And it's just the look and the shine and yeah, just sort of displaying encasement on a very artistic level that many people might not see, you know. And I think you've
yeah.
seen her stuff. It's quite. I think it's one of the
It
best out
is.
there.
It's you know what? It's actually quite beautiful to see. It's
Oh
nothing
yeah,
like it doesn't scream, oh, it's fetish or anything
no,
like that. It's actually done very artistically, and it is
yeah,
just yeah, I think that's what I love about her is when I did see her profile, because obviously I dove straight in after we had our conversation, and
yeah.
it was like, wow, the way she does it, it's beautiful actually, rather than, oh, it's like for instance, she's showing, you can see like her private parts through it, and
Oh, you can get.
the way she kind of she's not doing like really sexual poses. It's actually really nice. I actually really do like her work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just yeah, it's amazing what it is for what it is now, and I'll continue to support it till she gets tired of it, which looks like she'll never get tired of it.
Mm,
She'll never get tired of it, and I hope it stays that way. She's amazing.
yeah.
But
No, she does seem it. She does seem it.
what else we can do? Like encasement wise, what else? Let's see. Well, nylon cherry's one,
Mm,
but it's rare nowadays. There's a lot of back in the day talk with other people. We always talk about older content creators of encasement, like the first ones that came by, ones that are
yeah.
now. But the more I think about it, yeah, cherry's the only one that's actually done it and that sort of non-sexual mannerism. Everybody else has
Mm,
done it more. I mean, they love it too, obviously, but it's more on a very
yeah.
explicit sort of content, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that. I do
Yeah.
hear that.
Yeah, just to think. Let's see, we got branding. We talked about brands. We talked about mummification, mentioned professional stuff. Can you think of anything else you want to talk about?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I know we're going to be running out of time soon, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'm actually gonna save it. I've got a couple of probably a couple of questions actually that I could potentially, if you're down, we could do a
I am.
part three. And
Ooh,
yeah, I don't normally do part threes with people, but
I
I'm
know.
happy to do a part three.
Yeah, because the our part one already, I think, has gotten a few thousand views, which kind of blows me away when I look at it every time.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's so different. It is like I've never had someone like you in terms of like someone who loves encasement come on, and I think it's it's something that is really intriguing. Once again, it blew my mind. And I know
Yeah,
obviously a lot of people got in touch with me after and sort of said, I didn't know about this, or, I knew very limited information about it. And
yeah,
I think it's that's why like I love kind of connecting with different people who have different interests, because it is actually, well, do you know what, you've got so much that you can share with the world, and
yeah,
it is just, well, do you know what, like, let's actually do it. Let's get all the questions out that people would, would want to know,
yeah,
and everything, and just, yeah, and just share that knowledge. So I'm thinking, if you're down, I'm down to do a part 3, and
yeah,
literally we can just, I'll try and get some questions that people have
yeah.
asked me before. I'll definitely have some generally, and literally we can do a whole Q&A session with you, where I'll just like, Soska,
Yeah, I would love to
question.
just answer any questions people would love that are asking, you know. I think one
Yeah,
question I saw on the first video was someone asked me about the Moyer effect of encasement and
yeah,
I guess how it looks or how it feels on me.
yeah,
I generally love that effect. I think it's one of the coolest things ever. It looks amazing,
yeah,
and I'd love seeing it. If I see it in public, it sort of drives me wild to some extent. It's just like, oh wow, they're
yeah,
layering up, you know. And I think layering up pantyhose is a great indicator that you do love wearing nylons, and
yeah,
you're gonna do it
yeah,
by any means necessary. You're going to wear it. So seeing that in general is just exciting, and I've always I think I would say I always push for it for anybody who loves pantyhose
yeah.
or up, especially in the colder days, just because it does feel amazing.
It does. I
It
vouch. It really does.
it really does feel amazing. So like that's one of the questions I remember from the last video. That was in the comments. That's the only thing I can remember though. But yeah, I would love to do sort of
Yeah,
just points where people ask as many questions as they want, and let's answer every single one of them
yeah.
together.
I'm down. I'm down. Yeah. Okay. Right. So part 3, everybody, is going to be in the works. So
Maybe,
hit us up with all your questions.
yeah, maybe I guess maybe you should be an encasement at least to some extent as well, you know?
Oh God. Okay. Well, we can't have a part 3 soon then. It can't be soon then.
Maybe no,
I'm
no,
still
no
going to be
face,
working
but
on all this.
you from the neck down, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. We could. Okay. We
Make a
could.
top. It'll
Yeah.
keep,
Potentially.
still see your pretty face, but you'll be like, oh, this is
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. We'll aim for that. We'll try and aim for that. Yeah. No, it sounds like a plan. But honestly, thank you so much for coming on again, Soska. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your time, and
always. And Sony, thank you
just
again as well. Oh, and keep doing what you're doing. You're making some great content as well. So
thank you. No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
you're making
But yeah,
content as
it's
well.
just, yeah, it's just because you have so much knowledge, and it's like I love learning about different things, and it is just, yeah. Honestly, I love new stuff. I love like meeting amazing people. So yeah,
I just love
I'm
seeing.
just so happy you just came on again.
I just love meeting people who love nylons in general. It's a great. It's great. It's a
Yes.
great feeling, and I think the community is great itself in terms of how open we are.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been one of the greatest things I sort of dove into. I think just being free and enjoying what
I
it
hear
is.
that.
And
I hear
even
that.
better is this week. It's where I'm from. It's our fetish weekend, so there's going to be lot
Amazing.
lot of fetishes kicking around over here. And
Oh,
yeah, I've been
lovely.
hopefully meet some other ones like me. There's at this point, and with these events, there's always a great chance I'm going to meet somebody with the same interests as me. So it's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. To hang out, talk about it, just and be more free about it.
Yeah.
Be ourselves, and which is great.
No, I hear that. Oh, well, I hope you have an amazing weekend then. It
I
sounds
mean,
amazing.
we're getting back into the fall season now. Nylons is now a guarantee.
Yes. Yes, that is
So many
very true.
styles, so many styles to wear, so many layers to wear. If you
Mm-hmm.
what for it, it's exciting, and I finally get to dig into my thicker dens as well. 'Cause-
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That can be something as well, because that is like one of my questions, but I'm not gonna go into it now because we're gonna run out of time. I'm literally just gonna cut off on me like it normally bloody does. But
okay,
But
Thank you.
yeah, but honestly, thank you so much, Soska. And I will literally we'll be seeing Soska again soon for part 3. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and just honestly just supporting me and Soska as well, because I know there have been so many people asking me about Soska and what your page is and everything. So I've just been like directing everyone to you. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
so
I've met
thank you.
people already, and it's just so amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem at all. Well, thank you so much, Soska, and I will see you again soon, my love.
Yep, part 3 time. Bye.
See you later.